Welcome to A Bridge Podcast, hosted by Nard and produced by Alphonse and King Roach. On this show, we will discuss all topics that range from sports, entertainment, and the lifestyles that shape our lives. None of this would be possible without the support of our family and loved ones. Follow us on abridgepodcast.com. Welcome back. Season 2, man. Here at A Bridge Podcast, man. We want to thank everybody for joining the conversation. Today, people, I bring you again. You know how I do. I'm bringing you basketball royalty. I bring you people who change the standards. I actually really just want everybody to understand. Again, I got to promote this because there's so many people that look like us that are doing great things and they don't get their credit. But again, I thank everybody for tuning in to A Bridge Podcast on Patreon. You can go to abridge.com and check us out. Subscribe, join, be a part of the family. But without further ado, I bring to you I got my people here. And I'm so happy to be back on for season 2, man, that I'm forgetting to give love to the big 3, man. Myself, Alphonse, producer, King Roach. We here. What up, fellas?
Yeah, what's good, brother? How you doing?
Those are my behind-the-scene guys. They pull the strings to make sure that I do what I do.
You good?
Yes, sir.
Happy to be back, man. Season 2, baby. Second show. Let's do it.
Yes,
King
sir.
Roach, you in the building?
Yeah, bro.
We got the IT guy in the building, Steve Jobs. Who? What? Let's go. Here. You heard?
I'm excited about tonight's guest, man.
Definitely. You did it again, Pat. You did it again. That Rolodex. That's why you keep that phone away from me. Because when I get a hold of that phone, baby,
it's a problem.
Everybody.
It's a problem.
You already know what it is. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let's bring this basketball royalty, one of New York's favorites, man. We got Miss Kim Hampton in the building. You already know, Kim. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Nah. It's our pleasure. With pleasure. I know you got a schedule. It's a demand for you. So, let's not even hold the people up. Like, tell us a little bit about you. Where did it all begin? Where you from?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. So if you hear that southern accent, that's what that is.
The bluegrass state, right?
Yeah.
Muhammad.
Southern twang.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, my family.
Muhammad Ali,
School, my parents went to high school. Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
My aunt dated him. I had pictures.
Peace
of
out to Mia. Mia Ali.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah. But grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. Started playing basketball when I was a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And fast forward to my senior year in high school, I was the top player, the best female basketball player in the state of Kentucky.
You heard that?
Wow.
The best basketball in the state of Kentucky.
Although, because I didn't go to Kentucky, they didn't give me Miss Kentucky.
Okay,
I
you know how it goes.
Forgotten. But anyway.
You should have signed late. Should have signed late
after the war, right?
After
the
war.
Larry Johnson. Or Walter Berry move.
Yeah.
Nah, that's what's up.
And, I was a standout track athlete as well. So I was really just trying to decide what sport I wanted to participate in.
Okay.
But I liked basketball a lot more.
Okay.
And so at that time, women's basketball wasn't big, so I really didn't know what school to go to.
What were your top 3 recruiting?
You know what? The crazy thing, recruiting, I was getting letters. I would say Tennessee, Old Dominion, and I can't even remember.
Big women's schools?
Yeah, big women's schools,
definitely.
But we didn't know that back then,
okay,
because women's basketball, it was still AIAW. It hadn't even gone NCAA. So that means all the schools weren't able to fly me out just to see it.
Right. Was Pat Summitt the coach?
Pat Summitt was the coach.
Wow.
And I was getting a letter, like I said, every day. They were sending a letter to my school, to my high school, every single day. But I didn't know, and I didn't understand the politics of basketball.
What were your numbers in Kentucky?
My senior year, I was averaging about 30 and 16.
30 and 16. You hear that, bro? 30 and 16.
More bucket getters.
Yeah, I had my high was a 57.
57.
Yeah, we lost something like 63 or 65, 60 something or something like that.
Wow, but you pushed the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah. So, and then I was just kind of left trying to figure out where I wanted to go to school, where I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to get away. There was my father wanted me to go to the University of Louisville, and how the strings were being pulled. I think he was like, well, you can get a car, you can do this, that, and another.
Right. You're close to home.
Yeah,
he can see more of you.
Exactly.
Good move, Dad.
And all of that, but I just wanted to get get away. I wanted to see something different. I wanted to start.
And you ended up going out west, right? Midwest.
Well, it's kind of west.
Yeah, kind of west.
Southwest.
Right.
Yeah, I went to Arizona State.
Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, and I don't even know how.
So it must be a school for scorers because James Harden went there too, right?
School for scorers. Scott went there. Yep.
And Byron Scott.
It was Lafayette.
Lafayette Lever. The legend.
Was Byron there when you was there?
Yeah, me and Byron was. Yeah, we were there.
Okay.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Lafayette Lever. I used to love him.
And they also retired your number over there.
They did.
Yeah, you put work in.
Yeah. So I'm one of 2 women that has our jerseys hanging in the rafters.
Nice. That's dope. And that's the what? That was the Pac. That's the Pac-10 or Pac-12. Pac-12.
It was Pac-10 back then.
It was Pac-10 back then.
Yeah,
it's Pac-12 now.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yep.
So when you was who were you watching as a kid? Like turned into this monster getting 57.
Well, the men.
Men, right.
Moses Malone.
Did she say Big Moses?
Those dudes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one people that didn't smile on, so you didn't smile on court?
Yeah, well, and not so much as that. I mean, but that's all we had because we didn't have, remember, there was no women's basketball on television at all. The only thing you saw for women was golf and tennis.
Right.
And so I didn't have any female role models to look up to then. And mind you, I was so new to the game, I didn't really start hearing about names and really good people until my junior or senior year. People started talking about
in that process, right? In that process in your junior, senior year, who was somebody that you played against that had a real big name that stood out, someone you really remember?
Well, there were some teams in Kentucky, but I would have to say that it was players before I was playing. I remember, is this girl named? Her name is Valerie Owens, and she lived up on the same block as me, but in the next block, on the same street as me, in the next block. She was really good, and I can't even remember the names of the players that were really, really good because you had some of those small countries.
So, but when you were at ASU, who were some of the big names that you squared up against?
Okay, like Cheryl Miller, the McGee twins.
Oh man, that was
Cindy,
USC.
LaTanya Pollard, Cynthia Cooper.
Big dogs, pure killers.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they were on the same team.
Wow.
Yeah,
they were stacked.
They were stacked.
LeBron, you thought you started this? Nah, they was loading the deck, yo. It was on the busting the John Wooden.
And then you had your girl Rhonda Wyndham from here. She was on that team too. Yeah, so
a young lady from here also 2 years later she ended up going to USC, right? Nikki McCrimmon, I think too. Yeah, she went to Murray Birchall. Nikki was a killer. Shout out to Nikki McCrimmon, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my homegirl. Right.
Yep.
That's dope though. And so you stayed, of course, you stayed 4 years at ASU.
Yeah.
And then
it was tough. A couple times I wanted to leave, but I didn't want to have to hear my father say, "I told you should have stayed here."
I got to get that paper.
You know what? It was so difficult again because lack of knowledge. I just starting. When I went to college, I'd only had 4 years, and I'll say really 3 because I didn't start playing varsity until my sophomore year of high school. Yeah, because. This is so crazy. So I started playing my freshman year, and I was just learning how to dribble, learning how to shoot, learning the rules of the game, get out of 3 seconds, and things like that. But over the summer between my freshman and my sophomore year, I took a job as a lifeguard. I became certified and became a lifeguard. So I was in a park all summer long. So what happened? I got to play with the boys all summer long. Okay. So when I came back my sophomore year, I'm starting varsity. I'm starting averaging 15 and 10, and stuff because I'm snagging rebounds, because you have to play 21 with the boys, and you're on your own. So it's just like my game just jumped.
Just jumped.
Yeah, and
that's fun. Don't laugh though, because I've been all over around the world and I can't swim.
Really?
For real. If I stand in the water, the beach, and the wave hit my shorts, I'm back at the resort.
Really?
Now I don't play with that water at all.
Wow.
For real. I'll be real tentative on the swimmer bars at the resorts, and that's like 4 feet.
Crazy.
For real? So after ASU, like after you worked out in college, like what?
Oh no, but I wanted to tell you like why I was leave. Oh, I
Okay.
wanted to leave a couple of times, and and this relates to all of the young ladies out there, hopefully that are aspiring to go to college on a scholarship and things like that. It was that mental toughness level because I went from a high school coach that was relatively easy, and when you're the star player, you kind of get perks. It's easier,
right.
You don't have people holding you accountable, people pushing you and pushing the envelope and making you, to stand up and be mentally tough or to push through things. And so he wasn't that easy. I mean, he wasn't, he
tough.
just
He
wasn't
wasn't
that
tough.
tough. Yeah, just that. Yeah. And so when I go to my college coach, she's co-captain with Pat Head-Summit on the '76 Olympic team.
Okay, wow.
So imagine that.
Yeah.
So now, and she
It's
and
a
Pat,
business now.
Now she and Pat are two alike, two peas in a pod.
Okay.
You've heard stories that Pat was really tough on the girls. You've heard
Right.
all of those stories, but that's what it was. And so not being able to understand that mentality because no one prior to me ever talked about that mentality. There
Or
were
talked to
no
you that
women
way.
that talked to you that
Aggressively
way.
or anything
Yeah,
of that nature,
exactly.
right.
So that was such an adjustment.
Nice.
But
I
oh my
can
God,
imagine.
I always-
And then also too, being in a state like Arizona and being a
far
person
from
of color
home,
too.
being away from home. Yeah, I mean,
Being a
oh
person
my
of
gosh,
color.
the only people
Yeah.
of color on the
Were all
campus
athletes.
was all athletes. It was like 47,000
Wow.
students.
How far we've grown.
Yeah.
Shout out to number 44, right? That's number 44, President Obama. You know what I mean? We came a long way, right?
Yeah.
That's dope, though. But we glad you didn't leave ASU.
Yeah.
And when you did leave after your 4 years, because with women basketball not being big here in the States and everything, you guys are really forced to look for work elsewhere, and not necessarily even playing ball, just now that basketball is over. Do a lot of people what do you do? What did you do?
Well, that was our only option then, I was blessed and fortunate to have been one of the finalists for the Wade Trophy, the Margaret Wade Trophy. Are you familiar with that?
I heard about it, but
So the Margaret Wade Trophy is equivalent to the Heisman.
Okay.
So they'll pick a player per state, and then that's the 50 finalists, and then they'll fly you into wherever the event is, and then they'll select the finalists. So I was not I did not win the Margaret Wade Trophy, but I was in the room,
Okay.
and so I was approached by an agent who placed women overseas, and so it just opened up from there. The first 6 years I played in Spain, and it was pretty cool. Y si yo hablo español también, so yo puedo hablar con vosotros en español si queréis, sin problema.
Sí. Yeah, you already. That's dope. Well, Spanish in Spain is different from Spanish on Graham Avenue.
Yeah, exactly, because I struggle. But I mean, I've been I'm so far out of the game. I don't really speak it. I only speak it a little bit, so I'm super rusty. But you're right. I can go to the store and I'll speak to some of my friends or the people in the store that I see all the time. And I was like, más espacio, because they don't pronounce words.
Right.
And yeah, Spanish in Spain is like the Queens. It's like speaking English in London.
Right.
Versus, yeah.
Yeah, this English in London, I understand.
Yes.
Nah, that's dope, though, man. But also, too, it's so funny because if you play in Spain, you eat rice all the time and Spanish food, and if you play in Italy, you eat pasta all the time, and you become that person.
Not in Spain.
In Spain,
that's not like that. See, that's South America. South America eats a lot. They eat rice, but not a lot, and it just depends on the area. Because I played in 2 coastal towns, and so when I played in Valencia, it's rice because they created paella.
Okay.
So you have the paella and stuff like that, paella de marisco, de pollo, and all of that stuff. But like in places like Vigo, it was very rural. So it was a small town, but it was a big town because they created the cars, the Citroën.
What is that?
Citroën. It's
Citroën?
Citroën. That's what it was called. And then they had
and what is that?
It's a car. It's a particular car. It kind of will put you in a mind of a Peugeot or something like that. But that's where they built those cars. And
that shit crazy. I thought that shit was a dish.
Yeah.
I I ain't never had no Citroen.
Citroen. Yeah, Citroen. Yeah, and then they built ships there too. So it was right on the coast, but it was very small and very country. So it was a very, you would see people with horses going down, the street and things like some of the older, like the really urban people.
Right.
But it was the seafood was amazing, and then it was like a lot of vegetables, and then a lot of
Kept you
the
healthy.
food was
Yeah.
the food was crazy, and in
That's
Spain,
dope.
so yeah, so when you think of Spain is not rice, it's like tapas, you know,
Right,
it's
right.
like
Nah, that's what's up. Thank
Yeah.
you. I gotta get to Spain, man, for real.
yep.
So and I mean, you're approached by agents. You go overseas. You're enjoying fine cuisine and everything. And I forgot to ask you, like, were your parents proud that you got your degree?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they were.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And your degree is in
Theater.
theater. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I always had that artsy side to me, you know, with the singing and the modeling. And as a kid, I used to always dream of doing stuff like that.
Right, and you
So,
change and you changing the narrative, like we like to talk about here on A Bridge, and changing the narrative, being a tall person, a model, like, you know, not the ordinary, not the norm.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But
So-
I stumbled on that. When I got to college, I really didn't know. I had picked communications, but all those classes were boring me to death. And so I was like, oh my God.
Right.
And then I took an acting class as an elective, and I was like,
Have
bing,
fun. Right,
oh
right.
my
This
gosh.
is what it is.
It was, yeah, it just changed my life. And
Nah,
so-
that's dope. That's dope
Yeah.
for real. That's cool. So you're overseas. You're playing in different places in Spain, and you're in two different places in Spain. So from Spain, where did you go? Did you then come back here to the States?
No, from Spain, I went to Italy.
Okay.
Ho giocato 4 anni e mezzo in Italia, un anno a Bari, un altro anno a Avellino e 2 anni e mezzo a Pavia. E Pavia è una città piccola, 20 minuti fuori Milano.
Right. Extra ravioli, right? That marinara sauce, and some shredded cheese.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Got that.
and even the Italian food is so different. I mean, it's so different.
And that's fly to be able to speak like you on your Kobe shit. Like seriously, like speaking mad languages.
I'm super
You heard that
rusty
back?
on
I hear that Kobe shit right now.
Yeah.
I'm over here like no doubt for sure, true, facts, like
And
for
from
real.
there, I went to Japan.
Oh, dope.
Konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu.
Oh, she got
And
it.
then,
Oh, baby.
then I
Your
played
passport
here
is
in
really
France.
filled up. You got a
yeah.
couple of passports.
Yeah, she's stamped out, baby.
Yeah, I did.
Stamped out.
I've had to go through, get a new passport.
Yeah,
and
she's
stuff
stamped.
like that.
She's stamped out. Now that's dope. So when did you decide to head back to the States?
Well, when they started the WNBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that? Like once it came about.
I was super excited. Well, at first I wanted to play in the ABL because if you know, the ABL started prior to the WNBA, right after the '96 Olympics.
That's Nancy Lieberman and them, right? Like that.
Yeah,
whole
they
wave.
had that whole league, Nikki
Right.
McCrae.
And what year is that?
It started in '96.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
started in '96, right after the Olympics started.
Okay.
So half of that Olympic team that won gold in Atlanta, half of them went to the ABL, and then the other half, like Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo and those guys, went to the NBA, the WNBA, played for the WNBA. But we didn't know because I was approached to play in the ABL as well. They were offering 6-figure contracts, and things. My agent was like, no, don't sign that. And I'm like, why? And
Why?
I'm
Is
like,
it because the league wasn't going to last?
well, he knew that the NBA was going to start the
WNBA.
following year.
But it's so less money for the
Yeah,
women.
no, I'm saying the NBA was going to start. The NBA started, so it was
Right.
like the NBA league. So the NBA, he knew that the NBA was going to start the league and form the WNBA.
Right.
So
And then you had
well, it
a
was
better
gonna be
chance for
bigger.
endorsement deals and stuff
yeah,
like that.
Exactly. It was
Right.
going to be. We were playing in NBA arenas.
Right.
It was going to be like the sister
be
team
huge.
to the. Yeah, it was
Right,
going
now
to
that's
be
dope.
huge. And so, and you looked at, like the teams in the ABL, they were playing in, I think, some college
Yeah.
gyms, college arenas, and and
Dark
things
gyms.
like that. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that, but
Right.
but anyway, I mean, I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that
And
women players have
you
had.
trusted your agent, so that was big
Yeah.
because sometimes they know.
Yeah.
Sometimes they know, and it's not, and they're for their client, so it works out.
Yeah,
So that's
it's-
dope.
And the cool thing about it was they sent a scout over to see all of us players over there.
So
And
they-
so that's
So
how I got.
So then, what
selected.
they had like an elite draft.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
that's how I got selected in the elite draft because we happened to be playing. Me and my teammate Her name is Michelle Edwards, and she's right now she's an assistant coach at Rutgers right now. But I mean,
Shout out to Michelle Edwards.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I mean, they call her Ice. I mean, because she's nice, a player, and we happened to be playing against the best team in the league. We were the second place team.
Okay.
And it was just a game going back and forth, and we lost by 1 point. But Michelle and I both had like maybe 30 or 25, or something like that.
Dude, Clay and Steph out this month.
Yeah.
You heard? They put numbers up.
So we both got the call that we were going to be selected in the elite draft, and that was just really cool. Because when I came into the draft, I was 35, going to turn 36, going into the WNBA.
Okay. So all right. So you went in older. Wow. That's good. But you had already gave him so many years overseas. Some valuable years.
Yeah.
They put up a lot of numbers and everything. Mm-hmm. And which team drafted you?
The New York Liberty.
The New York Liberty in the inaugural season. This is huge right here. Y'all hear this, young ladies? All y'all girls playing ball, y'all hear this? You know what I mean? After spending several years overseas, she still got drafted by a New York team, a big market team. So it put her in
yes,
in a whole different outlook on life. And how was that for you? How did that feel? Like coming to to be part of the upstart Liberty?
It felt amazing. I mean, well, first we were like rock stars. We were on top when they had the NBA All-Star game in New York. I mean, we were front and center. We were playing in the celebrity games. We were playing. I mean, it was amazing. And all the NBA players, they embraced us. We were on TV all the time, and we were doing commercials. I mean, it was like we were instantaneous rock stars. And then we had celebrities. Like, I never will forget, like, Albie Shore ran up to me. He's like, yo, Kim Hampton, come here, can I please take you out to dinner, and stuff. And he was just so cool. And I'm thinking to myself, like, in my mind, like, oh, my God, is this Albie Shore? Like, oh, my God.
This light-skinned
like,
dude tried to bust it.
Hold
on, this light-skinned dude tried to bust a move on. Yo, Pat. Yo, Pat.
Yeah, Tyra Banks.
I even seen a picture of you and Jay-Z.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
when I tell you guys, I have so many pictures. I mean,
now we was dope fans. I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
As a basketball fan, we was dope fans. Like I really appreciate the Liberty. I appreciate what y'all was doing, and y'all was looking good out there. And then it's also like y'all were looking like good out there. Cause you get people have an image of what a female basketball player is supposed to look like or be, but off the court, y'all was stylish and all that. So that's dope. So you Who was on the team? I know that was Witherspoon on your team?
Yeah,
right.
She was the point guard. It was Rebecca Lobo, myself. It was
Rebecca Lobo was tough.
Sue Wicks. Oh yeah, it was Sue Wicks, Trina Trice, Vicki Johnson, Sophia Witherspoon. Yeah, Sophia Witherspoon.
Y'all was
Keisha
loaded.
Ford. Yeah, I mean, but like I tell everybody, I mean, if you look at any WNBA team roster, if you look at any NBA team roster, any professional sports team, it's stacked. It really is.
Number 12 kid could play. The number 12 person could play. And a lot of people miss that.
Yeah.
And when I used to watch the WNBA, honestly, I was a super huge fan. I love Tamika Catchings, Dawn Staley.
Yes.
Tarasi, she's super tough. And Sue Bird, of course, New York native. I give her that. I really was dope and everything. You had great battles, like you had great battles on the court and everything. But with you, being a force, working the block and everything, you had premier battles with Lisa Leslie. Y'all went to war, right? And how was that? Because y'all were friends.
Yeah.
Right.
It first started out with me just really trying to establish myself mentally. Because coming in the league, I knew I was going to be playing against all of these tough players. But the very first WNBA game, we were flown out. It was held at the Great Western Forum, and it was New York and the Los Angeles Sparks.
Wow.
Live on CBS.
Dope.
Everything. And so I just was watching the way the week unfolded. And so Rebecca, the media had, Rebecca Lobo with her back like this and Lisa Leslie with her back. They're going to be pairing off, or whatever, the language was. And so I noticed in practice, Rebecca was just a little nervous. I said, Coach, let me guard Lisa. Why don't you? She's like, no, you're giving up. Yeah, she's like,
I want that smoke.
She's like, you giving up too many inches. I was like, well, I said, I just feel like, Rebecca can just kind of ease into the game and not have to worry about stopping somebody. She can find her flow. I don't know. And so she's like, all right, finally she bought into it,
Okay.
and everything. I mean,
That's that experience.
Lisa didn't score till I went out of the game.
You
Because
heard that?
I was like, I was on a mission, and
Focus
and it is
on your barmanship.
and exactly, and that's one thing about that New York Liberty team. We took pride in our defense. So if
tough.
you are a player out there, I'm telling you, you are a rare commodity if you can play both ends of the court. And defense will definitely open up a lot more doors for you than just offense.
And indeed, and I try to tell the players that all the time. Like, you really got to be a multifaceted basketball player, but you have to play defense.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? You have to play defense. So that's dope. So, like, you and Rebecca became good friends. And who are some of your other good friends, like, throughout, like, that you relationships you
On the
established
team,
over the
Becky
years?
Hammond, she's doing
Becky
her
Hammond.
thing.
She's with San
Coaching-
Antonio, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
coaching,
that's-
she remember
that's
she
dope.
had to take over when
Pop was sick. Yeah, that was big. She made
got
history.
kicked out. Yeah, exactly. And Coquise Washington, she was on the team. I mean, but I was one of those players that was always pretty cool with my teammates. I got along with everybody, so it was
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. You have, like, a favorite rivalry? Like a favorite person to play against?
Well, I mean, of course, our rivalry
Was
our first was Houston.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
we
yeah.
lost
That
3
trifecta.
championships to them,
Yeah.
and then and then I would say it was LA next.
And you scored the first basket for the Liberty, right?
Yes.
That's crazy. That's dope. And the first basket, and you played that. They were kind of. They had like the cheat code, like with Swoops and Cooper and Tina Thompson. They were stacked and very well coached.
Yeah.
And everything, but New York always battled and everything, man. That's the heart of the city. That's why I hate watching the Knicks now. They don't battle every night, man.
Yeah.
And like that inaugural year, how did it end?
Well, we lost. We lost the championship. We lost by, I don't know, like maybe 8 points or something
Okay.
like that. But yeah, I feel like if we would have gotten any championships, it should have been that year. We should have,
Right.
we just started kind of tapering off and just, they started rising at the right time.
Yeah, they peaked, and then
peaked.
it happens. It happens. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. But like you
Yeah.
have like a serious story, man, and like I want all these young ladies out there, even the young fellas, man, because you can learn from someone or anyone that has played the game before you. And here at A Bridge Podcast, we want y'all to understand that you have to really understand and understand the people behind you or before you, So, and and work on your craft. Work on your craft. So you did some real serious things because we did our homework, man, and you did some real serious things. You scored the first points as you were the first person drafted also, right?
Uh-huh.
Right, in the elite draft, you scored the first point and everything, and you modeled, you sang, you actually sang the national anthem, correct?
That's in this present tense. I model, I say.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's dope though.
Yeah.
I'm a fake model.
All right.
Yeah, I fake model.
Hey.
No, nobody's watching, nobody's taking pictures, but I'm modeling.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? And I definitely do not sing, But that's dope though, man. Like really, like salute to you. Like really, that's just dope. Like, and as a model, like after your career over and being a model, how were you approached by modeling and is there like an agency? What was that like hot agency, Pat? That
Wilhelmina.
Wilhelmina, right?
Yeah.
They were popping at one time. Like, and who do
Yeah.
you model for?
I was signed with Wilhelmina.
Oh, you signed Wilhelmina?
And then I was also
Heavy
signed.
hitters.
My first agency was Click Models.
Okay.
And so it just happened because we got a chance to always go to these celebrity events, all of these
Okay.
high profile events. So I was out and I ran into a woman.
But you're a pretty person, so at the end of the day, like and you're gonna attract the camera anyway. And then you're a celebrity, and you're out with celebrities and everything. So it's only right. Now, that's dope.
Yeah, so I ran into the booker of the agency, and she was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about modeling?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to."
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Nah, that's
cool.
what's up. But how was it? Like that whole preparation and
My first job, I worked for 3 hours. 2.5 hours was hair, makeup, and getting dressed. the third and that
Last
30
half.
minutes, that last half was just
The
the
walk.
photo shoot. No,
The
it was a
shoot.
photo shoot. It was a
Wow.
photo shoot. It was a big Lane Bryant event. I made $40,000 in 3 hours.
That's what's up. They hiring?
I know. So I
Like-
was like, oh yes,
You know, I would
can
tell
get-
this job,
I was like,
bye.
I can get used to
For real.
this. Oh my God.
That's my dude,
Yeah.
Pat, the model.
Yeah, I get busy at times. I get
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. Man, they getting his fit, getting the makeup. Well, you don't have to do hair. You just do makeup, right? So, you know, and right, you transition to modeling in the present state and everything. And when did you know it was time to walk away from the game? And like, what year? Like, how does that work? How did that work?
Well, I was going to retire in 99 because my right knee, the cartilage behind my kneecap was severely worn, and so it was just painful. And to be able to play at that level,
Yeah, I
to
had
have
two
to
knee
chase down
surgeries.
them, to chase down them young girls, the Lisa Leslies and all them kids playing.
Them kids.
I was like, all them kids. But so I wanted to retire, and I had to have the surgery, the scope on my knee.
Okay.
But I came back so fast. In 6 weeks, I was back. I felt like great, no pain. And so my teammates, Teresa Weatherspoon, they was like, come on, just one more. Let's go one more.
One more
And I was
run.
like, okay. But right in training camp, my knee swole up again. I had to have the surgery. So the doctor was like,
Yeah, I had those surgeries. I had the left knee done, the scope. I had the right knee, the patella, the meniscus, and so. But now, like, if a bus pull off, I'll just catch the next one.
but you know.
I'm definitely not chasing that joint.
Yeah, but you know what I find too?
For real, I'm not.
I find that like there are certain foods and stuff that you eat that are more inflammatory, for your
Right.
joints and stuff.
As you're playing ball and it's time, you're bringing the career to an end, right? So your body is telling you can't do it anymore, and everything. And I know it's driving me crazy because we love the game.
Yeah, and not only that, mind you, that's what I had done for the last, professionally.
Right.
Then it was, collegiate and high school. But that's what I had done for the last 23 years of my life. And so
Right.
all of a sudden now that I don't have to do that, I'm so used to preseason starting, preseason
Right,
training,
right.
conditioning, traveling with the team. And now all of a sudden I just had the knee surgery. So all I had to do during the day was go to the hospital and get my
Rehab.
physical therapy,
Right.
rehab and everything, and nothing else. And so it was more about not having that camaraderie with your teammates, not having something to do every day,
Right.
your
It broke-
daily
it broke- it
habits.
broke the normalcy.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, it
That's
was
crazy. So,
tough.
like-
And then watching them play at the games, going to the games. I'm sitting there, you got to play in front of her. You got to, I'm telling my
Yeah, yeah,
teammates
yeah.
like I'll be
Coach
on
it.
the court or
Right,
like
right.
what I would be doing. And
Nah,
so,
that's dope though.
It's
And
crazy.
also too, they need that, and it's glad you say that because like here at A Bridge Podcast, we want people to understand that even though you walk away from something, you walk away from people and everything, it doesn't mean that you're done with them. You still interact with them and everything. So like in leaving the game and now you're going to the game, you're seeing the game. Like, do you go and watch the Liberty now? Like
course.
nowadays? Oh, that shit.
of course, yeah.
Embedded. It's in the heart.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I would be remiss if I didn't continue to root for the WNBA,
Right.
a league that I pioneered, and so I'm so proud of the women and how
Now,
they've
salute to
come and how far they've come. I mean, you have like even Epiphany Prince, from the area.
Brooklyn, Piff, Piff.
Building,
Champion.
Piff, we need you.
Exactly. And I mean, there's so many. I mean, Tina Charles. I mean,
Right.
it's
Shamika
just so many.
Holesclaw.
Holesclaw. Yeah. I mean, and
Catchings.
I would be
I can't
wrong.
say the
Kia Vaughn,
girls
yeah.
from LA that went to Stanford. The sisters. They can't say their names.
I just went.
Pam McGee, right?
No.
He's
The,
talking about,
they have I think they have African in. I think they're African.
Yes, they're African. Oh gosh.
One play for the Lakers.
Yeah.
For the Sparks
For the
now.
Sparks, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're
I
tough.
it's just slipped my mind. But anyway, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the game has just advanced so much, and what the players are able to do, and the
Right.
kids coming in every year. And then shout out to the New York Liberty for getting 2 years of first round draft picks. Now,
That's
I'm
dope.
going to break your heart right here, because you've been a long time Knicks fan, right?
I'm a Bucks fan, but I'll take the beat
Okay. So you're a Bucks fan. When did you become a Bucks fan?
because I love Sidney Moncrief.
Okay.
6'4" guards. I wanted to be 6'4".
Yes. Wow. Okay. So anyway, for all of you Knicks fans, I personally believe that whole organization is cursed.
Yeah, me too.
Now let me tell you why. Okay. All right. In the history of the Knicks, I can't say the history, but in the relevant history of the Knicks, when was the last time you got a first round draft pick? Was that Patrick Ewing?
Pat Ewing.
Was that Patrick Ewing?
No, number one pick was Patrick Ewing. We had first round picks. You had
number one. The first pick. Yes,
number
I'm sorry.
Number
That's
one.
what I meant.
Patrick Ewing.
The first pick, Patrick Ewing, and that's been over 30. Yeah.
About that.
Yeah, like 90.
That was 80 something.
That was 80s. That was 80s. Late 80s.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's right. Because the WNBA, I was thinking he'd already been playing. Yeah, so the 80s. Now, the New York Liberty, the New York Liberty was purchased by the Brooklyn Nets. And
right.
So they are owned by the Brooklyn Nets. And so that's been 2 years now. This will be the second season, I'm thinking, the 2 years. And the New York Liberty has never, ever had a first pick. We got one last year.
Until it got with
Sabrina,
the Nets.
yeah, in this school. Yeah, we got her.
She's tough too.
Oh man. Yeah. And then this year we got the second they just had the draft pick.
Right.
And so we got the first
Well, actually, they got
2
the chick
years in a row.
They got a chick from Oregon, right?
Yeah,
The guard,
Sabrina.
yeah, she's tough.
Exactly, and so that's what I said. And then we just got it this year.
She's
so
a stat stuffer.
Yeah, so 2 or 3 months ago they or maybe.
The Knicks are bad. 'Cause also, they get everybody bad. And also, too, while the Knicks be suffering, and my friends kill me for this, I would not watch the Knicks, even if they're playing my Bucks. I wouldn't watch them because Julius Randle is wearing Bernard King number.
That's disrespect. That's
total disrespect.
Yeah.
I'm not watching
Yeah.
him. Dolan, get him out that number.
You're right. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
He
put
should
that
be
number in
wearing
the rafters. Put that number in the rafters, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Bernard King, man. Shout out to the King brothers. $4,000. For real, you know?
So we've got since they've been owned by the Nets, they've gotten 2 years in a row of number one picks.
That's what's up.
That's a good thing.
Like in the Liberty, like you play, because I tell you, like Witherspoon and Stanley, and those like my favorite players, like toughness, and you and like she's still like heavily involved in the game, right?
What?
Did
you not know? She is an assistant coach with the Pelicans.
I knew it was some. I couldn't remember what it was. That's what's up.
What? I'm like, yes.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yes.
And so and you and her like that, like inside outside punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And how is it like establishing that like to know, like when I run out here and turn and hit this post, like you see me because she fooled. Like, is that what you telling her, or is she telling you that the person guarding you can't guard you?
She spots it because she was one of those. She was a true point guard.
Yeah.
I mean, she saw the floor. She saw who was hot. She saw mismatches. If she passes to me and I miss it, don't worry about it. I'm coming right back to you. You know,
got you.
She's getting you in the game. She was like that.
She sound like Nard, for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nard, because I just had to give Pat the ball a lot. You know what I mean? A lot. Like, I had to give him the ball a lot. Had to give Larell the ball a lot. Shout out to them Kings. Had to share the ball with Booby because he was a dancer. We had shooters. So Witherspoon, she was like one of my favorites. And she was so tough. Like, she hit that floor. She'd be serious with it.
And it's Weatherspoon.
Yeah,
because it's
I'm sorry, T.
Weatherspoon and
Witherspoon.
Sophia Witherspoon.
It's Witherspoon and Weatherspoon.
Yes.
Right. But now she was so tough, man. I like that. She just had that New York grit. Like, you know. And where's she from?
She's originally from Pineland, Texas.
Pineland. I went to
think
Tyler,
it might be
Texas.
1,000. I might be 1,000 people there. She said, she's seriously. Pineland.
It's crazy because when I was in JUCO in Texas, I found out that the whole SEC was in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Like, that was amazing to me.
Yeah.
The
Did you
whole
see,
SEC.
yeah, because what's that movie where the team in Texas, they beat
Glory
Kentucky.
Road.
Glory, yeah.
Glory Road. Yeah, they beat Kentucky.
Gosh,
They beat Pat Riley and them.
Yeah.
Right, that was the old Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Texas A&M. Yeah, that's dope, man, for real. So, like, you think, you modeled, you got great friends, like you like Albie Shore tried to holler, like, yeah, this light-skinned dude shot down. You heard? You know what I mean? Now that's what's up, though. And so, like with the singing, where's the love from singing coming? Did that come from college?
Growing up, I mean, it was just
you grew up in the church.
That was my first love.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I went to church, but I didn't grow up singing in church because I was super shy when it came to singing.
Right.
But I always had. I would say that I was just blessed with a natural gift, a natural voice, and I sang throughout my life. Even when I was a kid, my mother would say, "Kim, come and sing such and such for
there you go.
You know,
Parents will put you on the spot, but they'll make you famous.
What?
You know, nah, that's dope though.
So that's my first love. Singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you singing a lot now.
Not right now, during because of COVID, but
Right.
I had been prior to that. I was selling out shows, getting 2 shows and booking 2 shows a night at the
That's dope.
Sugar Bar in Manhattan because I've been doing this tribute to Nancy Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's
so
what's up.
yeah, and it's just been really, really cool.
I gotta. When next time you have a show, you gotta definitely make sure you let A Bridge know. 'Cause I gotta come and get me a thing of scotch so it can sit on the table all night.
There
Cause
you
I don't
go.
drink, but I be want to look grown when I'm out.
Oh,
You
Lord. Wow.
You know, and you, like you've done so much, and you've experienced so much, and you shared so much with us and everything. But again, like I said, here we do our studying here, and we know that your daughter is now playing, and she's at Lockman, right?
Yeah.
Actually, my niece is the manager for that team. Like 2 years ago.
Okay.
My niece Fayon, she works. Yeah, she. So tell us about your daughter, because I know she got the goods.
Yeah.
I know she got the goods.
Isofam Ari.
Isofam Ari. Shout out to Isofam K. Yeah, that kid is tough. Isofam Tata. Yeah.
And so she's a tough kid. She's a smart kid on and off the court.
Okay.
She sees the court well. She's a guard. I'm praying that she has a growth spurt and gets some of her mama's height.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Just,
Okay.
but handles the ball really well, extremely well. She can get past anybody. She's quick now.
Yeah, she's tough. She's
Yeah,
tough.
and just helping her to try to develop the jumper and just to add, the mid range to the game and things like that. But more than anything, just trying to talk to her about that mental toughness, like being game ready, game on, and working hard and things like that.
Yeah, that's important. No, but I mean, she has a good teacher, and her mom has an
She
extended
don't listen to
Rolodex of
me.
great players.
She don't
Yeah,
listen.
they don't listen to her, but they be listening
Yeah.
because that's why. Like when I used to go watch my son play, I could never let him know I was in the gym
Oh wow.
because he used to look for me for validation whether he did something wrong or bad, good or bad. He's always look for me, and I said I had to get him to understand that he has to pay attention to his coach and stay in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you being who you are, and they want to show you that they can do it without you, even though they still they worrying about how they played.
She's
you
like,
know?
stop talking to me. Stop. I'm just like, go rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the league, she could average. If she really went for it, she could average 30 and 10.
Yeah.
And I break
Buckets.
it down like this. I'm like, give me 12 rebounds a game. If you break it down, they play quarters.
Yeah.
That's 3 rebounds a quarter.
Yeah.
3
We always talk
rebounds a
about
quarter.
that, right? And we always talk about that.
Points.
You can get those.
Get me 4 points a quarter.
Right. Easy.
That's from offensive rebound, or from a free throw, slashing, a jump shot, whatever. Get me 4 points a quarter.
Nah, you dope. So what school? She's a senior this year?
She's a junior.
So she's a junior. Oh,
Yeah.
she got one more year to kill.
Yeah, she's got 1 more year.
And how is that affecting her, like with the pandemic? Like, is that affecting
Yeah,
her office and stuff like
Well, we really don't know, but it's. I'm sure it's gonna have some, but the kids that are good, and they're gonna still be wanted.
Right.
It's the kids that are middle of the road, Division II, and
Yeah.
things like that. Especially with the NCAA allowing them to have an extra year, and things like that. It's gonna be.
that? Do you think that's beneficial for them to have the extra year, or if they're ready to graduate, they should like go on to college?
Well, you know what? To me, it doesn't make sense to me unless you're a pro. Unless you have the possibility to go pro.
Right.
That it doesn't make sense, but because you got it academically. But I don't know if it's just the fact that you want to play, and then it does make sense. I'll take that back. I'm sorry, you guys. It
That's
makes
all right.
sense.
That's
No,
all right.
but it makes sense in the. I guess in the way that if you are a team that you can make some moves in the tournament
Right.
and things like that, then
I
get it.
I just personally, I just hate like the whole reclass thing and the stay behind and all that. So when they give them the extra year, I'm saying like, is it really going to help them? Because a lot of these kids get exposed, and that's what's happening in New York City basketball. A lot of kids get exposed because they reclass them and they're appearing to be good because they're older,
Right.
they're a little stronger, and then when you put them out there with kids on their level, then they become mediocre or
Exactly.
below.
Exactly.
And it kills the morale.
Yeah.
So.
And that's one of the reasons.
And
I
what
was
offers
like-
does she have now? Does she have some offers now?
Yeah,
as a junior?
she gets a ton of letters, and I would
Okay.
say she's getting letters, more from like Ole Miss,
Mid-majors.
Clemson,
Okay, no, big school, Power
Yeah,
Fives. Okay.
Yeah, Clemson, Penn State. God, of course, I'm going blank. I mean,
That's
but
all right.
she, I mean,
Nah, she gets quality numbers.
she gets
Nah,
letters.
that's dope.
You know, then you have
And she's
West
blessed, like, you
Virginia.
know.
Yeah, and you, I mean, every day.
And what's her name?
Ariel Jackson.
Ariel.
Ariel Jackson.
Ariel Jackson. Listen to mom, man, and you blessed to have her. You know, because she's been there, so she's gonna help you. Like,
Yeah,
definitely, that's a
she's
good look
kind
for
of
you.
going through she had a fall in one of the scrimmages that they had, hit her knee really bad and kind of split it open. So she's been out for, I want to say at least a good 3 weeks. It was right before the holidays.
Oh wow.
So,
Get well soon, Ariel. Get well soon.
So we got her, she's starting physical therapy and things like that. So
Okay, she's gonna be good, man. We're rooting for her. You know, so tell us, like, you know, we have a thing here at A Bridge Podcast. We like to ask, like, tell us and tell these people watching, like, what does bridging the gap mean to you?
Bridging the gap to me means connecting personalities, connecting people, connecting things for the better.
Okay.
You know, because gap means separation, so it means bringing things together in a positive sense. So when I think of any gap being bridged, I think of something that's positive.
Right. No, that's dope. That's dope. We need that because what happens is there's so much negativity going on in the world and everything that it becomes a focal point. It's just like in the community. Like they like to talk about, and I try to tell people all the time, like we talk about gentrification and we talk about this and we talk about that. And I say if it's a problem or we have an issue with it, why do we have to speak about it? Because we make it relevant. Like what's the positive? What are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And like when I came to Pat with this idea, and he was behind me 100%, and now we're here. You know, we're here at season 2 of A Bridge Podcast. This is dope. So we want to reinforce the positive networking. We want people to remember Kim Hampton. You know, like give her props while she's here. Give her flowers while she's here. Understand that, you know what I mean, like what she's done and what you've done is so beneficial for them. You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, and with that being said, I want you to tell the people, you know, how they can get in touch with you, how they can follow you, you know, your contacts and things of that nature. You know?
Yeah, so as you know, my name is Kim. It's spelled with a Y, K-Y-M, Hampton, not Hamilton, but Hampton, like the rich folks that live out in the Hamptons.
There you go.
So Kim Hampton, you can find me on Instagram. It's at I am Kim Hampton. On Twitter, Kim Hampton. Facebook, Kim Hampton. So everything is pretty consistent. If you type in KYM Hampton, it should pop up.
And this also will take them to where they can follow you, like if they want to come check out your show once the world opens back up.
Oh, yeah.
And things of that nature. Okay.
And I always post when I'm having shows and things like that.
Nah,
so,
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, you here. We grateful for you. It's your show. Any last words?
No, like I said, I just appreciate what you guys are doing. All of
Thank
the
you.
education that you've been given throughout your interviews and the platform that you've given people to tell who they are and the wonderful stories, and for us to hear and to learn from because me not living here, me playing basketball in New York, but not coming from here, like some of those stories, I was kind of like, wow, and just hearing all the stories, and things. I just, I think it's so important. And I just think that the young people, they have to watch stuff like this because becoming a student of the game is so very important.
Yeah.
And
I always tell people it's funny, but like if we would have had these opportunities as athletes coming up, things like the post BK, like great places like that. Like we had like little rec centers and stuff, but we had stuff like the post BK 24-hour gymnasiums and things of that nature, man. So many of my friends would have been in a different tax bracket.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
been so
gosh.
much more available to us and everything. But
just being able to work on shots.
Yeah.
Just if you want to develop a mid-range shot, or if you want to develop the three, or just become a better shooter or a better ball handler. I mean, it's just so amazing the things that these kids have at their fingertips now. But you got to utilize it. You gotta, and you have to make good choices and decisions too.
Definitely. Life is definitely about choices. Like, I want to really just like Thank you. Like, it's a pleasure having a legend here.
Thank
Like a real legend. And for the record, people, I ain't just meet her. I should see her every morning when I was at work. She should come through my station. You know what I mean? So, it's dope, though. Definitely. Miss Kim Hampton, we thank you. And A Bridge Podcast here, we signing out.